Okay, I believe that this is true, but I have no idea where they are getting this information from.
I want some nasty. Are we having fun yet?
All right, guys. So we just found a website here that's talking about the Westbrook trade. As you guys know, the Spurs have been in the, well, at least in a lot of different forums, a lot of different articles. They've put the San Antonio Spurs in them, saying that they are interested in Russell Westbrook. And this is a new one that we came across by SB Nation. Now, before we talk about this really quick, if you guys want to support the channel, clanthemerchfan.com, link in the description. Go support your boy. I got plenty, okay, plenty of merch there. So if you guys want to support, please do. I really do appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead and read through this, okay? And we'll come up with our own opinion here. So Spurs reportedly interested in Russell Westbrook trade, could offer package for Josh Richardson, Jakob Poeltl. So it says here, one of the teams not mentioned as much in the Russell Westbrook trade pursuit is the San Antonio Spurs, who could offer a package of role players to the Lakers in a deal, which I think will be a good deal. All right, so as we can see here, as the the Lakers have seen suitors come and go for Russell Westbrook, one team that's been in the background for most of it has been the San Antonio Spurs. But at one point in the summer, the Spurs were seen as a potential third team in a trade for Kyrie Irving. Through it all, San Antonio has loomed a team with ample cap room and contracts to make a trade work. The biggest issue, though, is that few, if any, of the Spurs players would be particularly appealing to the Lakers in a trade. Let's be honest, okay? Lakers, you're not really going to be able to pick and choose what you want for Westbrook. Like, you're not going to be able to choose too much, okay? You just got to deal with what you deal with. I know Russell Westbrook was like a monster at one point of his career. He's not a bad player. Like, I think a lot of people harp on him a little too much, but he's not terrible. But his lack of self-awareness, it is not good for a team, and other teams see that. So I don't know. Anyways, but still, the Spurs lurk and the options dwindling, remain one of the favorite teams that's still in the running. In a recent article by Andy Larson of the Salt Lake Tribune, the Spurs are one of the teams still willing to take on Westbrook's contract. Emphasis is mine. Hey, by the way, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. By the way, for what it's worth, I know a lot of people don't like listen to me. Okay, I haven't really heard a ton when it comes to the Spurs like really pressing it. I think that it is some truth to it, just from what we've seen and what I've personally heard, that yeah, Russell Westbrook could potentially be, in the works. I mean, it only makes sense for the Spurs to at least inquire about it, right? Like you're going to inquire, you're going to go talk to them and see what they want. But I don't know how aggressive we are. I hope that we are, but I don't know if there's been enough evidence. But then again, this person might have their own sources and they believe they are. So complicating matters, though, is that the Jazz might not be the only team willing to take on Westbrook's contract in order to get those picks. Indiana and San Antonio have also expressed that interest per multiple media reports. So maybe they are just going off of like what we've already talked about over the last several weeks. I don't know. The Pacers could trade Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, while the Spurs could move along Doug McDermott, Josh Richardson, and a former Jakob Poeltl. By the way, I think this is more than enough for the Lakers to bite on that. I mean, cause just be honest, okay? The Lakers don't have that many years left with LeBron. They basically have none, okay? Just a couple. So you want to get as many guys that supports his play style as possible, and Doug McDermott and Josh Richardson definitely do that, along with Jakob Poeltl, okay? The Lakers, when they won a championship a few years ago, I know a lot of people say like Mickey Mouse ring or whatever, and it was a really weird ring, but they used their force down in the paint to get it done. Now, will that still work? I don't know, but what I do know is Doug McDermott and Josh Richardson would play beautifully with LeBron James, just beautifully. But here we go. If you're not falling out of your chair in excitement for that trio of players, then welcome to the majority. Players like Josh Richardson or Jakob Poeltl are adequate to above average role players. I agree with that. I think Jakob is a much above average center defensively, but sure. It's a far cry from what the Lakers are likely looking for when it comes to returns for Russ. I don't know what the heck they could get for Russ. I mean, I'll be honest. Pirtle is a solid center, particularly on the defensive end. Last season, he averaged 13.5 points and 9.3 rebounds on 61.8 shooting percentage from the field. Though he still holds an possibly low free throw percentage, 49.5%. I didn't even know it was that low. Okay, Richardson is a player the Lakers expressed interest towards in the past, most notably at the trade deadline last season. Split between Boston and San Antonio last season, Richardson averaged 10.2 points on 41.5 field or percentage shooting from the three-point range. I just think that it makes sense for them to take those two players. I don't know why you wouldn't. And then they talk about Doug McDermott in 51 games, shot 42.2% from the three, but he's hardly the effective defensively and is due 27 minutes. And that's the rough thing. I think I said this in a different video. Like, that contract is pretty rough. So I don't know. I have no idea. But I did come across this and I wanted to share it with you guys. But apparently, at least from this article, I can't tell. I can never tell with these if they're talking about what we already knew or if it's some new information. It's always hard to tell. But apparently, the Spurs reportedly interested in Russell Westbrook. I just don't know how aggressive they are with this. From what I've heard, I don't know if they're. I don't think that they're super aggressive on this. But anyways, and by the way, rightfully so. They shouldn't be the. Me just speculating. I believe that the Spurs shouldn't be the team to be the one pursuing this. I think if anyone pursues it, anyone goes all in on it, it's the Lakers. They're the ones that's desperate. The Spurs are just chilling. Like, they're cool. If they keep Josh Richardson and Jakob, cool. If we don't, cool. Like, the Spurs are fine. They're set for the future. So the Lakers are going to have to really find a package to really convince us to make that move. So we're in the driver's seat. I'm not worried about it at all. By the way, I keep saying this, but it feels like I have to keep saying this. If the Spurs get Russell Westbrook, he's not going to play, okay? He's going to be waived. I hate to say it, not really, but if the Spurs get Russell Westbrook, he's not going to play. He's not going to be in a Spurs jersey. He's going to be gone, guys. He's not going to stay. But anyways, I'll give it to you guys later, man. If you want to support the channel, only $2 a month, Patreon, YouTube, links below, or Clan the Merch Fan, man. Get yourself some merch. But yeah, I appreciate all the love for real. Until next time.